What is love? This is a question that not a lot of people know how to answer, but I believe it's one of the most important questions everyone needs to know. Now, often whenever you hear someone explain to you what love is, they usually give up the basic answer that everyone usually says is, love is when you care for someone. Love is when you feel a certain type of way about someone, feel something you feel. They'll say it's intimacy, right? Sex is love. That's what they'll probably believe, but that couldn't be further from the truth. To define love in the most simple way possible is God. Until you know God, you won't truly know what love is. And we live in a godless society. There's no wonder that people are confused, that they don't know what love is. They confuse love with lust. People go around sleeping with people, normalizing having sex before marriage. People wonder why they feel so empty. And at the same time, they're doing the most intimate thing that you could possibly do with someone. They're glorifying it. They're going out every night, hooking up with someone new. What happens when they wake up the day after? They're left empty. Sex is so accessible to us nowadays. But sex is something that should be guarded. It should be sacred. God made sex for us to enjoy in the compounds of marriage, to enjoy it, to do it with someone that you hold a genuine and deep connection with. See, everyone says love is a feeling, but as soon as someone is unhappy in a relationship, it ends immediately. Like this. That is not love. You see it nowadays. The divorce rates are so unbelievably high. People going to other people, trying to fill that void in their hearts. That void in their hearts can only be filled with the love of Jesus. See, Jesus, he set that ultimate example of love. If you want to know what love is, look at the cross. Jesus, he didn't need to die on that cross. He didn't have to. He didn't want to. He chose to. He loved you that much. Think about it. Would you die for your worst enemy? No, you wouldn't. Jesus, he died for the absolute worst version of you. The one that rebelled against him, the one that sinned. Sinning against God is like spitting in his face. Think about it like this. If you were in a relationship with someone and they cheated on you and they kept cheating on you, they said sorry and then they cheated on you again. Are they really sorry? That is exactly how Jesus feels every time we sin. This is the difference between religion and relationship. People only go to church. They read the Bible, but they don't even know what it says. They don't understand it. They pray, but they don't know who they're praying to. Jesus, he loves you so much. He decided to die a horrific death that we all deserve. You asked, why is life so unfair? But I thank God that it is. Because if life were fair, we would all be on the cross. Jesus lived a perfect life that we could never live. And he died a horrific death that we all deserve. And he did that for you. Lust is a cheap replica of love. It's the devil's replica. I did not know what love is until I knew Jesus. People look for love, but they look in all the wrong places. Jesus put me through very bad relationships, terrible relationships that failed badly. That's because he wanted me to understand everything that love wasn't before I would come to understand everything that love was. His love absolutely transformed my life. The Bible says love covers over a multitude of sins. When you love God so much, you lose interest in sin. You don't desire sin anymore. It disgusts you. You hate it. Why? Because it separates you from Jesus. Let's put it like this. Think about lust as a very strong and powerful raging flame, a very large flame, right? Now this flame, it destroys, it spreads, it's hard to control. It burns and it destroys. But now think about love as a smaller but more controlled, steady and powerful and controlled flame. That flame can keep people warm. That flame shines. You could see in the dark with it. That flame is calm. So in simple words, God is love. People give up on love. The Bible says love never fails. And if it were to fail, it was never love. People say, I will never love again. They let their hearts turn cold so that people could never hurt them again. But never stop loving. The devil wants to destroy your ability to love. because that is what makes you most like Jesus. Whatever that person has done to you, forgive them and love them and pray for them. There is no revenge because Jesus never treated me like that. After all the terrible things I've done, it is by grace through faith that we are saved. And my life has been transformed by the love of Jesus, dramatically transformed. And I want you to experience the same thing. So give Jesus a chance. It breaks his heart that you neglect him. I can't imagine a life without Jesus. It's empty. It's purposeless. And if you've been asking God for that significant other, ask yourself, do you think you're ready for something that serious? You need to be preparing yourself. God is not going to bring you one of his daughters or one of his sons if he knows that you're going to bring them further away from God. You should not be in a rush. Marriage is for the rest of your life. Now, if God brings you one of his daughters or one of his sons, is he going to lose 2 children, or is he going to have a more intimate relationship with both of his children? God is not going to bring his daughter into your life if you are not ready. You need to trust in God's timing, because first you need to understand what love is. You need to know God first. Once you know God, you will know what love is. That is the first commandment for a reason. Love God with all your heart, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and with all your soul, everything. And the second commandment is just like the first one, to love your neighbor just as yourself. The entire law is fulfilled by just those 2 commandments. That's because knowing how to love is so important. Let God show you what love is. But yeah, guys, on this channel, you gain a stronger spirit. But if you're trying to get a stronger mind, a stronger body, right? Follow and DM me on Instagram for one-to-one coaching. I help men get in their best shape possible within 120 days. And if you haven't already, subscribe so we can all grow closer to God together as a family. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.